Welcome back to Brisbane Zoo. Today we'll be building a wallaby habitat, adding our first animal to the zoo. I'm quite excited. What you can see here is that corner I was talking about in the last build, where I went over it a couple of times and just decided to go with something simple. So I've plotted out the outline. The sand should just be fences, the dirt will be paths. Not quite sure what I'll be putting in that space yet, but yeah. So as you can see, I've blueprinted that little fence piece. I quite like it for the exterior fences and some like staff areas and things like that. So that was the first thing I did here. Just to provide some separation from the road. I was having some trouble with the with it lagging, so there's a few times where I've selected the wrong thing accidentally because the mouse clicks come about half a second after I intended it to. So it's a very simple habitat. Wallabies don't really need a lot. There's not a lot to put into a grassland habitat. Basically the real novelty on this one is that you can see it from the restaurant. Just putting in a trench here, a moat, because the Zoopedia said that wallabies required a 3 metre fence, which I've since determined to not be true. So the fence you do end up seeing me put in here does get dropped quite a bit, but I didn't want to have a huge fence at the viewing area, so I've just cleared that up a little bit and put in a moat instead. I much prefer an open viewing area, unless it's necessary to have something closed off, like for a tiger habitat or something. I'd rather have reinforced glass than a narrow moat. So here I just thought I'd build a retaining wall on the side of that moat. Just something nice and simple, logs. Again, with the Brisbane Zoo, something reasonably cheap that can be justified in the lower budget. And here I'm just putting in the inner most of the two fences. And just a little bit of mulch to complete the look. Put a bit of garden in between the two fences, nothing too spectacular. And again, here's the second fence, which stuffed up the spacing a little bit here, but I fixed that up straight away. Just like a nice, simple couple of wooden bars. Just to keep the patrons from coming right into the habitat. So they don't go reaching over the real fence. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted a nice, simple little bit of garden. Nothing spectacular. Pulled it up a little bit closer to the path. It's just a matter of duplicating it along. Thought one viewing area would probably be enough. But, you know, wallabies aren't exactly a big ticket item, and given the restaurant as well, that you can view from both sides. And that hill in the middle does give you a slightly different view from each viewing point. I might do custom billboards for the wallabies, for all the animals later on, but at the moment I don't really think it's necessary. I thought it made the most sense to just continue the same fence from the retaining wall. Just some raw timber logs, kind of, yeah, they're cheap but more of like a rustic look, and you know, the wood's probably better for the animals on the interiors than, you know, concrete or steel would be. You don't have to worry about, well, not padding, but you know, it's a much safer material. When in doubt, remove a panel. And just duplicating it again this way. And I didn't want to use that external wall as the fence to the enclosure, just because I didn't want, you know, some idiot to be able to jump the fence straight into the wallabies. Wanted to give security, you know, that extra couple of minutes to be able to stop them, and just an extra fence is an extra deterrent. Probably a bit harder to climb too, looking at it. But that'll just be part of a staff area. Now again, given budget concerns, I thought it would make sense for them to have just a quick and easy sort of demountable building that had the basic staff facilities for a keeper's area, so just your keeper's hut and your staff room, some power and water facilities. I do change the colour off camera after I finished recording, and we'll probably decorate the area a little bit just to make it a bit more interesting. I put up a gate as well from the end of the pathway. where it connects to keep the customers out rather than just leaving the guest barrier. My pets are being a little bit noisier. It doesn't pick up on the microphone. I'll try to clear out as much as I can. Now, of course, given that we are adding animals to the zoo, we're going to need some names. So we'll have 2 males and 2 females, and hopefully some joeys at some point, which for the, I'd say non-Australians, but we're a Planet Zoo crew, so we probably know these things. Baby wallaby is called a joey. Most marsupials, or all marsupials, I'm not sure. Their babies are all called joeys. That wind turbine sticking out of the top of the mountable back there, I like to think it looks like one of those like whirligigs you put on top of a shed to sort of circulate the air rather than cooling it. Yeah, you can see me putting 3 of them in, but I do find another one later. Adding crew, which again, if anybody wants a staff member named after them, or has a name for them, let me know. We still need a name for that senior zookeeper. We do have an idea for the factory, thanks to that Aussie guy who suggested that it be a car factory. In the comments for the last video, which was after I recorded this video, so I haven't updated it yet. But I've got an idea for a name as well, so I'll be updating that before the next one. I also haven't decided what animal I'll be doing next. I haven't decided if I want to make sort of a little Australian area right near the entrance, or if I want to keep it grasslands or something completely different and just something that's, you know, entrance friendly, as far as traffic control goes, and you know, the animals' shyness. But yeah, there's not really a lot that needs to be put into a wallaby habitat. They don't need shelter. They don't need a lot of foliage. They live in sort of temperate grassland areas, so pretty simple. Put in a couple of saplings there just to sort of represent that it's early days at the zoo, so we wouldn't have any super large trees. I've decided that they'll, in a few cases where I'll need bigger trees like the koalas, I'll probably just say that there was a row of trees in the car park for one of the factories in this area, eucalyptus specifically because it is koalas, but not sure where that's going to be at this stage. And then anything that needs like a full-on jungle area, it's we'll just say that was later in the zoo's life, not immediately before opening. But these sort of stage 1 areas I'd like to keep as simple as possible. And into the cinematics.